I am Taurus Speech at Taurus Speech on all social media platforms. And as always, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm not sure if you guys know, but professional gaming is like a thing. There are children as young as teenagers up into older individuals who are making millions by streaming what they're gaming online. It's so real that they have gaming tournaments. And most recently playing, what's the game? Fortnite. A 16-year-old won $14 million or something like that. It was in the millions. It was more millions than I have, which is none yet. Also too as well, and do not be distracted by my nails. Because of who I am as a person, I only polish one nail, one hand, and it was taking too long for me to do the other, to dry. It's fine. Let's focus on the message today, okay? But speaking of gaming, my brother is the biggest gamer that I personally know. And I did not realize like how good he actually is until one day I was watching him play, which he plays a lot of like war type Tom Clancy games. And it gives me anxiety. War in general, violence, war. There's actually a movie called Tora that I've never seen, and people always try to reference that to my name, and I'm like, actually my name has an H on it. It's the first 5 books of the Bible. Thank you very much. Black girl Nero. Kidding. But anyways, I was watching him play the game once, and most real gamers, they stream online, and my brother is legit. He has a whole gaming area. He has a gaming chair, and it's like headphones, and he is in the zone when it's time to play. The boy's good. So one day he was playing, and it's like hundreds of thousands of people that he's playing against and being ranked amongst. And once the game was over, my brother was ranked like top 10. And I was like, oh, you a gamer. In all seriousness, like the boy really is good. So at this point, I'm completely negating the fact that this is giving me complete and total anxiety and low-key flipping me out. I couldn't stop watching it. And according to what he told me, and obviously according to like my observation, for this particular game, the way it's set up is you play like 5-on-5, and you get to choose what gaming board, which is essentially like your battleground. You get to choose what type of battleground you want to play on. And the way this particular game is set up is in order to keep the game at a pace in which it's, the way it's set up, particular parts of the gaming board begins to expire to ensure that all of the soldiers are moving along according to the strategically planned out gaming board. And what that means is if someone is in a territory longer than the time that they are allotted, you automatically die. And then it dawned on me, if even a fictional game is set up to know that you only have an allotted amount of time to do what you're supposed to do in this territory, and if you stay over longer than what you're supposed to, it is essentially or ultimately going to be a detriment to your life and well-being, then what makes us think that we're exempt from that rule in this game of a physical, real life? What if you're in a seasonal relationship that you think was like a lifetime, and you get to the expiration time of that particular exchange and you like automatically self-destruct because you didn't get out when you were supposed to? Oh my God, like imagine sitting at like your cubicle or your desk or whatever your working environment may be, and you just begin feeling your territory shaking because everything is about to explode and kill you because you are in a position that no longer serves you and it's not fulfilling your purpose and or calling in life. Imagine self-destructing when you are entertaining anything or anybody in any territory or environment that has completely expired. Or imagine being in a territory that you weren't even supposed to be in the first place. But I got good news. You're watching this video. That means you're still alive, you're still well. That means you're still capable and you're able. The thing about me is, as like direct and firm and assertive as I can be, I am not in the business of telling people what to do. I'm really not. However, I am in the business of encouraging people. So let me say this, and I'll be quick, hopefully. I think that we often confuse the word impossible with the words, no, it's just gonna be hard. Because the fact of the matter is, one of the greatest gifts God has ever given us is the gift of choice. Sometimes that's a blessing and sometimes that's a curse if you don't use it wisely. The fact of the matter is, it is not impossible to do whatever it is you want to do. It's just sometimes it's going to be difficult. And I'm trying to tread lightly when I say this, because what I don't want to do is degrade the fact that there are circumstances that make certain decisions hard. The outcome of quitting your job when you have mouths to feed is you're going to have to figure out how to now feed these mouths. I know that's not easy. The potential outcome of leaving an abusive relationship could be, oh no, now I have to find protection, shelter to ensure that my life and well-being, and sometimes my little ones, my family, is protected because of the decision I made. Again, that goes back to my initial point. It's not impossible, but sometimes it is hard. But what it's not worth is you staying somewhere that you're going to self-destruct anyways. It's not even anyways, because if you were to make the decision to move on, your life is saved. The well-being and the outcome of the quality of your life will outweigh you staying in something that is no longer serving you, staying somewhere that is no longer serving you or propelling you to evolve into the greatest version of yourself. I think that time begins to expire and shake us up a little bit, because we have to realize that we don't have forever to fulfill our calling. And when it's time to move on, it's time to move on. No matter how impossible it may seem, no matter how hard it may get, if you are truly in tune with who you are, through whose you are, you know that spiritual warfare is inevitable. But I would much rather move through this beautiful gaming board called life, progressing toward who I was called to be and what I am called to do, than to sit complacent in a territory that is expiring because I'm afraid to move, because I'm comfortable, because I built a home in a place that I was only created to build a tent. And sometimes I'm just created here just to load my gun, build up my ammunition, so that when it's time to move forward, I have exactly what I need. I have the scriptures that I need to combat any lie of the enemy. I have the right book to reference when there is something that I need to correct around in my environment. I have the right people I can pull on when I need encouragement. I have the right tools and the right armor and the right skill set and the right mentality to ensure that no matter what part of this beautiful game called life I am navigating through, I am set up for success. And I can celebrate the fact that I did not stay where I was because I was afraid, I was fearful, I was ignorant, or I didn't know what to expect, but I persevered anyway. That is the biggest victory, regardless of how many losses you feel like you have taken or will take. It starts with believing in yourself, period. The year 2020, a lot of people are saying this is the vision year. Vision year was actually last year. This is the implementation. This is the fruition year. The time to do it is now. Someone that I admire from a distance, I actually met him for the first time last summer, and he said it's a happy now year. And I don't know who that message was for. Actually, I do. It was actually for you. You know that I'm talking directly to you. I personally believe, and from experience know that a lot of frustrations in life, in particular seasons, and hopefully not cycles, there's a difference between a cycle and a season, but the frustration in those seasons comes from the fact that it's time to move on, that you maxed out potentially whatever it is that you were supposed to get or give in that particular season, and that your time within that particular season, territory, or environment has expired. That doesn't mean every single time you feel frustrated with a certain person or in a certain area or at a certain job that it's automatically time to move on. No, that's when the spirit of discernment is imperative, and you should know and have some sort of a strong relationship with your creator to know what signs, what messages are being relayed to say what to do and when. Because again, I'm not in the business of telling you what to do. I'm only here to encourage you. Now is the time to do whatever it is that you've been wanting to do. Now is the time to take the leap. Now is the time to know that you were created for such a time as this. Listen, it's not impossible, but it will require you to get heart, to do the work, and push through no matter what. And if there is anybody to get it done, I promise you, it's you. So let's get it.